Hey guys, I'm Alistair from Trail and Kale, and today I'm bringing you my review of the New Balance Fresh Foam X 860 version 14. A bit about me then. I'm just a regular guy, a non-elite athlete who absolutely loves running. Reviewing the latest running shoes and gear. My 5k PR is 19 minutes and 50 seconds, which I'm always trying to beat. I've run countless ultramarathons around the world, and my favourite distance is the cheeky half marathon. Road or trail, I love running on them both. I'm not afraid to let you know when a running shoe is crap, but also you're definitely going to know when one blows me away. Either way, our independent running shoe reviews are always 100% honest, reliable, and hopefully you'll come away from this video having learned something new. Who are these for then? Who are going to really enjoy the Fresh Foam X 860 version 14? By the way, I'm just going to call this the 860 version 14 from now on. Well, they're very much a daily trainer, but they're very much a stability running shoe as well. So if you suffer from overpronation issues, then pay attention because these shoes are for you. I'm going to start by going over the key specifications, then I'll go into my performance review, then I'll share some competitors or really good close alternative stability running shoes to this one, and then I'll let you know if they're worth buying. Which brings me on to how much they cost. Well, they're $140, which is very reasonable. That's on the bottom end of average or the top end of being very affordable running shoes. How do they fit and how do they feel? Well, they are very much true to size in length, and they have a medium width with a little bit of extra room in the toe box. I wouldn't say they're wide in the toe box, but there's more than average in there, which gives you a nice little bit of space for your feet to expand and splay when you're running. Now, if you do have wide feet, there's also a wide version or an extra wide as well. And if you have a narrow feet, there's also a narrow version for you too. Lucky! The upper is using an engineered mesh. It is not the most breathable. I'll go into that a little bit more in my performance review, but it is very padded and cushioned. So you can see around the tongue here, it's very nice and thick. And you can just imagine just by looking at how plush and cushioned these collars and the heel counter is, you can just imagine how comfortable these are to slip on. And that imagination would be reality because they are just super comfortable. And also the lacing system on the upper is very traditional, but I like it because it just works. There's nothing fancy going on. But you can get a really nice fit. There's a little bit of stretch in these laces as well. And when you do them up, they stay done up. What more can you ask for from a lacing system? The midsole is, yes, you guessed it, made from Fresh Foam X foam. What? Say that 5 times quickly, I dare you. And New Balance is calling this a rocker geometry. Can you spot the rocker? No, I couldn't either. So I'm not sure where they're getting that from. If you call that tiny little bit of upward curve at the rear a rocker, I don't know, I don't think anybody's going to hit that. Even the most heel strikey of heel strikers probably wouldn't hit that rear rocker there. And there's really not much going on at the forefoot as well. So no, there's not really much of a rocker, even though it says there is on the website. But it does have a nice ride to it. If you're enjoying this review, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to this channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That'll notify you as soon as new videos drop. And there is a nice amount of energy return due to the stability plane. What the heck is that? Well, that is the system that New Balance is using to give this shoe stability from lateral roll. And you can actually see here, it's the red line here going through the midsole, and you can see on the other side too. That works really well in terms of lateral roll, but there's not a huge amount of arch support in this shoe, and I'll go into that a little bit more in my performance review. The outsole has mostly rubber compound on it, but there are sections where it is using Fresh Foam X, this white area here. Now that's not so good because when you just use a foam as your outsole, the durability is awful. And I've noticed this, so has Helen, on some of the other New Balance shoes, where there is kind of foam as an outsole. In areas where there's a lot of contact with the ground, the durability is very much compromised. This area on the 860 really isn't a huge area of impact when you're running, so I'm not too concerned about durability. And thankfully there is a lot of rubber on the forefoot, but also around the heel where someone with stability or overpronation issues may experience a lot more pressure or weight or friction when they're running. So that's really where the rubber compound needs to be to get traction, but also to give the shoe more durability. There's an 8mm drop from heel to toe, so that's kind of on the top end of a medium drop. And the support is very much high. It's a stability shoe. And they weigh 9.7 ounces for a size US men's 9. That's my pair. Whippity whoop! You've made it to my performance review. Okay, so I've gone over some of the key specifications that I think are important for you to know about. And hopefully I've done a pretty good job of explaining what those features mean for you on your run. So how does that actually translate to actually running? I said before, the upper is super comfortable, and it is. It's really nice and supportive on your foot. You get a really nice lock as well, so your foot stays in place when you're running. So I really like the heel lock and just general support and how it hugs your foot. The lacing system's great. You get a really nice, accurate fit on your foot, but it's not the most breathable upper. So I live in California and it's the summer right now, so it's very hot. And I was very quick to notice the fact there's not a huge amount of airflow going through this shoe. So my feet did heat up fairly quickly. Going inside the shoe, there's not a huge amount of arch support, which I alluded to earlier on. And I really noticed that. I need that little bit of arch support to stop my arch from overstretching as it compresses into the footbed of a shoe. Now I did notice on this run that I was getting very subtle tweaks on my arch. I don't have high arches. I would say I have average height arches. And I noticed that. So I'd love to know or get your thoughts. If you run in the 860 version 14, what are your thoughts on arch support? Did you notice it not being there? Yeah, let me know in the comments. That said, it's a very stable shoe. I love the stability in terms of how it reduces that lateral roll when you're running. That's very noticeable. And that's coming from the stability plane, that red bit in the midsole that I mentioned earlier. What that does, it's almost like having a plate within the shoe. Well, it is. It's basically a plate. They're calling it a plane, but it's a plate. And what that does is reduces flex in that lateral or torsional motion. And then finally, moving on to how plush and cushioned they feel. If you run in Fresh Foam X foam midsoles before, like the 1080 maybe, if you haven't watched that review, definitely go check that out. That's an awesome daily trainer. Then you'll know how comfortable and plush that foam is. It's just a real joy to run in. And having this stability plane in this shoe just kind of makes it more stable. So if you have run in Fresh Foam X before and you found the shoe to be a little bit wobbly, I've noticed some runners out there who do have a heavier build. I'm not saying that in a rude way, just people who are maybe rather tall or they've just got a heavier build. Then there's more weight on that plush cushioned foam, so you're bound to be rolling around a little bit more. Lighter runners won't actually notice that. So if you are heavier, you love plush foams, but you really want the stability and you don't want to be rolling around, then the 860 is going to be the shoe for you because there is built-in stability. So as a daily trainer, I absolutely love how these guys roll. They are a very pleasant shoe just to put on, bag your daily mileage if you just like going for daily jogs. That said, if you do have a high arch, do watch out. You might want to actually swap out the insole. They do come out very easily, so you could just swap that out and get one fitted much more accurately to your foot shape. And my only other critique is the fact it's an 8mm drop. Most people won't worry about that. My style of running, where I kind of like to run more on my forefoot, I do notice having that higher drop there. So that's just personal preference. And for me, if I run too long in a shoe like that, then I do start feeling it on my knees. But for anything up to 10K, these are absolutely fine for me. Just something to be aware of. And if you're not really familiar with drop, and how a zero drop or a low drop or a high drop can actually affect your running form and performance, then definitely go check out my article that I wrote about running shoe drops. I think you'll find it really interesting, and hopefully it will help you get the right drop running shoe for you. And it might actually give you some aha moments as to why some shoes feel a bit strange to you and why others might feel really comfortable and give you better performance. So definitely go read that next. Some competitors for you to also consider if you are looking for a stability running shoe then would be, first you've got the Hoka Arahi 7, then maybe the Nike Infinity Run 4 and the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 23. Are three awesome options that you could also look at. If you want to know all my stability shoe recommendations, then you'll just have to go read my stability running shoes roundup on trailandkale.com. There's the link. Are they worth $140 then? Well, for a stability running shoe, hell yes. Stability running shoes do tend to be a little bit more expensive than that. Not hugely, but this is definitely on the lower end of the price range for a really good plush stability running shoe. So yes, I would recommend going out and buying this one. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this New Balance 860 version 14 review. If you did, please give the video a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to his channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.